How many of us have ever gone to the hospital or your friend, your family, and you had to spend so much time there than you needed to just because they are running tests, they're doing scans, just to figure out what you have or what problem is going on. Now, this is James. Has a back problem. He is ready to go get seen and get checked so that we can figure out what is going on with him. At the same time, we have Mary who just got involved in a car accident, and definitely Mary will need to be scanned. She will need to be screened so that they can figure out what kind of injury she has sustained. Now, how can we make sure that James and Mary both get the care they need in an efficient manner and effectively without spending too much time at the hospital? This brings me to my problem statement. With the increasing cost of healthcare and the population, healthcare facilities and patients are looking for a way to get in care where the patient wants to spend less time in the hospital to decrease the hospital costs, and also the hospitals want to take care of as many patients as possible to increase the revenue. According to statistics, the average length of stay in 2017 was slightly less than 8 days. And my data is from OECD organizations, which are countries which come together with the common goal of growing the economy by sharing different policies. Welcome, my name is Esther Karanja. I'm a Power BI developer at Colaberry Inc. And the project I'm going to present is healthcare investment and length of hospital stay. Now we are gonna go to the dashboard that I created, and my data was from 1990 to 2017. And as you can see in the dashboard, I have a slicer which is slicing with the year. And then my major investments here are MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds. And then the sub KPIs are year over year for hospital stay, MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds. And also we have the main KPIs, which are just the average days spent in the hospital, which is hospital stay, average MRI units investment, CT scanner investment, and hospital beds. My first chart here is hospital stay by year. And here it just compares how long people had to stay in the hospital each year. And the second one, it compares hospital stay by region. So it compares different regions and how many days people had to spend in each hospital. And then we have hospital stay by location. This is a scatter plot. And with the scatter plot, the sides of the bubble represent the hospital stay year over year. And then the color represents how many beds. So the darker the color, the more the beds. And then we have the year over year changes, which is just basically the year over year changes for hospital stay, MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds. Now, I'll bring to your attention that the hospital stay, when there is a decrease, as you can see here, the indicator turns green because that is a good thing. You don't want to stay in the hospital longer than you have to. And then when there's an increase, then it changes to red, which is more than 0 days, it is gonna change to red. And then the last chart is hospital stay, hospital beds by region. And with this map, you can be able to drill down to specific locations that you want to view. Now, I'm gonna focus my presentation on 3 major years that were showing significant changes. So we have 1995, 1996, and 1997. So as you can see here, in 1995, the hospital stay was 9.03. So yeah, in 1995, the hospital stay was 9.03 days. And then in 1996, the hospital stay was 12.54 days. And then in 1997, the hospital stay was 8.26. Now, as we can see, in 1996, there was major investments, and these major investments happened in East Asia. So there was increase in investment on MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds. Now, let's go to the East Asia and just see it in a more simpler way. So here we'll drill down the East Asia to specific locations. We have Japan and Korea. And here we can see that in 1995, the hospital stay in East Asia was 11 days. And then in 1996, the hospital days increased to 21.85 days. So that led to that region increasing their MRI units. You see that's a big increase, CT scanners and hospital beds. And after the increase, we see the following year, the number of days in the hospital decreased significantly to 11 days. Now let's look at the general picture. Here we see that from the year 2003 to the year 2018, there was a plateau. So that means that there was no major decrease in the hospital stay. So what can be done to decrease this number of days that the people are spending in the hospital? And it was averaging between 6.47 days to 7.15 days. So it was in between there. So we need to figure out how to decrease those number of days so we don't have people spending so many days at the hospital. And we can focus majorly on Southwest Asia, specifically Turkey. We see Turkey has been able to maintain its hospital stay to less than 4.46 days. And as you click on each year, you can see that there's always a positive investment on MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds. So we can definitely come to a conclusion that Turkey has been investing more in the MRI units, CT scanners, and hospital beds to keep their number of days at the hospital lower. Now let's go back to my PowerPoint and I'll give you my suggestions. What suggestions I came up from all that? As we saw from the dashboard, there was an increase in investment in the year 1996. We had 178% increase in MRI units, 133% increase in CT scanners, and 178% increase in hospital beds, which brought the hospital stay to decrease by 15% in the following year, which was 1997. Now, for the plateau that we have seen too, we have people who have conditions or procedures that take longer days at the hospital. So the hospitals can figure out how to come with protocols or care pathways or use multidisciplinary approaches to ensure that timely and efficient patient management is observed. The other thing is that the countries that are experiencing more stays in the hospital can benchmark or share ideas with Turkey. As we have seen, Turkey has been able to maintain its average stay at 4.46. So they can talk to Turkey since they have come together as countries which want to develop economically and figure out which ways to work so they can bring the number of hospital stays down. That is the end. I'm open for any questions.